Okay, draw in some nice, deep cleansing breaths, whatever is at your own pace. No need to do anything special because it's our natural breath that really is our anchor. There's many different ways of anchoring with breath, but our natural breath is with us all of the time and we don't need to force it. So that anchor helps us, especially if we need to be mindful in the moment, in a specific moment, something happens that stresses us, or we see something that triggers us. We have that breath. And it literally is like an anchor. So if we imagine we're in a boat and the waves are a little bit, maybe not too choppy, not scary, but they're moving back and forth, and we keep moving forward in this boat. The motor propels us forward until we get to the middle of that lake, this big, massive lake, like Lake Ontario or Lake Superior or any of the Great Lakes. And we know that they are choppy and wavy, and they change just like our thoughts and just like our emotions. The waves propel the boat. But when we get to the middle, because there's not so much boat activity or skiing or windsurfing, there's not so much right in the middle of the lake. And we see the stillness that's there. And just like in our lives, we move towards the stillness. The more we do this work, the more we realize how valuable and nourishing stillness is. And so, as we see the lake starting to become more still, we might turn off that motor and just float. Just allow the boat to float in whatever direction it wants, because there's absolutely nothing around us. We're far enough away from other boats, other people. We can still see the busyness in the background, but it's far, far away. And so we don't need to pay attention to that. We can very easily move into the stillness. And then all of a sudden we look around and we find our spot. We find the place that we are choosing to be still in. And so we take that anchor, that breath anchor, and we drop it down below. And we might watch that breath for a few moments, that anchor, as it goes down, down, down deeper. And that might be us breathing naturally, maybe taking the odd deep breath until we can find our place of stillness. Because it may not happen immediately when we bring our awareness to the breath. It may take a bit of time. Because often when we are trying to settle, we have to let go of certain things. We may have to let go of the sounds in our environment. We may have to let go of the discomfort we feel as we kind of move our bodies around to find the most comfortable spot so that we don't keep fidgeting and moving. Instead, we honor the time it takes to settle in. And in that settling, maybe there is time to adjust our breath. We might need the odd deep breath to release. We might need to settle into stilling our minds. But when we find the spot, when we are confident that this is our place to sit, to be still, and to bring our breath into our awareness, we're going to commit to that spot. We're going to use this spot, like our breath, as an anchor for our practice. And so during our practice, if we notice in our stillness that I'm feeling just a little uncomfortable, I should move. Or I suddenly feel an itch on my feet. And our first reaction is to reach out and scratch that itch. But instead, through this practice, we can just notice. We can just notice that I feel like moving. I feel like scratching that itch. But instead of acting on it, we bring it into our awareness without judgment. And we sit with the urge to move or the urge to scratch. And just like we've practiced watching our thoughts and our emotions float away, we can also sit with our urges. So we are trying to resist that urge by bringing it to our awareness without attachment. And this might be a practice that we try to work on a regular basis. Because as humans, we are inclined to jump right in. We jump right into our thoughts. And sometimes we jump into an action on our feelings, whether that's to immediately express or to push it away. So in our practice today, we can sit and watch our urges. If you get that urge to move, just stay in the stillness of your original commitment and notice if the urge just drifts away and you stay where you are. Or if I have the urge to scratch an itch, can we stay with that urge and watch it drift away so that we no longer need to scratch? So like our thoughts and our feelings, our urges can change course for us. When our intention was to sit in stillness. And just like with the thoughts and emotions, we don't become challenged by giving into the urge. We simply go back and begin again. But the more we can sit with those urges, and watch them float away, the more stillness we will allow into our awareness. And so as we sit here in stillness, like at other times when we have challenged ourselves to sit with our thoughts and come back to our breath, or sit with our emotions and come back to our breath. That practice has been good and laying the foundation for now moving into sitting with our urges. And so just imagine as our days unfold and we notice we have an urge to change the TV channel, or we have an urge to get up and eat something, or an urge to change whatever it is we're doing. I'm answering emails, and now I have an urge to watch TV, and now I have an urge to talk on the phone. So instead of acting on every single urge that we have, we can go into stillness, find our anchor of our breath, and imagine ourselves to be in that boat in the middle of the lake with nowhere to go and nothing to do. The motor is off, the anchor is down, and we can sit in the stillness. So in today's practice, pay attention, intentionally watching any urges, and simply be curious. That's curious. And then watch it move away. So we'll sit in the stillness until you hear my voice again. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings find peace.